What's up, YouTube? Stobo here, back with another horror stories. Short time. I know it's not October, but screw it. I want to be a short story author for horrors type writing, and I've talked to several people, and they think that this will be the best way for me to get my writing out there, because who knows, it could actually take off. So, through consolation, I've decided to continue and extend the horror stories for October, but it will be no longer called Horror Stories for October. It will have a new title. I do have good news. There will be a picture at the end of this video. It is very special. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to tell you it's something that will definitely help support this channel. If you're a fan, I would love for you to buy one. Okay, yes, I have hinted at it. It is merchandise. I do have merchandise for this channel. So, it'll be at the end of the video. But, let's dive into this because we are already at a minute and these tend to run a little longer. So, without further ado, this is Ghost Town of Killers. Let's get it. A couple of my friends were planning a trip to this old abandoned town. They wanted me to go, but I didn't have the money, and they knew it. So last minute, they surprised me with everything I need for this trip, so we were off. The town was small, a few stores maybe, 20 homes. It was located just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. The town's name was Hellsville. Nobody knew why, but we were about to find out. People say the town was full of life one day and abandoned the next. It's rumored people's food was still on the tables from where they were about to eat, but just left. The strangest part is no bodies or cemetery. After the guys packed all my stuff, I got in the car and we headed out. We lived in California, so it wasn't that long of a drive. We wanted to be well rested for the big day tomorrow, so we set our alarms and went to bed early. The hotel we stopped at used to be a death house for the town. It was 5 miles away, and now it's a hotel. Being an old death house for a new ghost town, we knew ghosts would be active, so we left our cameras on all night. Boy, did we catch some footage. We all shared a 2-bed bedroom with yellow walls and white trim. The beds had a heavy quilt with a white flowery lace at the bottom. You know, a grandma blanket. We all agreed to share the beds, and that's where the ghost started. The beds. At 3 a.m., the blankets were violently ripped off Jasper and me. The television next to Ronnie and Dio started turning on and off. Safe to say, we were freaking out. When this happened, we all shot out of our bed. When we did this, we started to hear scratching on the walls and floors. After a few minutes, Dio thought it was a prank because of the town and the building's history. Dio ran out of the room to take a look. He had been gone for several minutes before Ronnie opened the door to find Dio slumped with his throat slit. Blood pouring down the front of the door and Dio's lifeless body now on the floor. We grabbed our things and ran. We made it to the car and we sped off. I looked back and saw what looked like a black figure kid in the doorway. Unknowingly, we were headed straight into the town. Freaking out of our minds, we have been trying to get home. As we crossed the lines into the small town, the car started to die. Finally coming to a stop, we all looked at each other, nobody wanting to leave the car. We decided we needed to make it to live. Pushing further into the town, a light fog set in and chills ran down our backs and hair standing on end. We all felt a gust of wind shoot past us, and we were covered in blood. It happened so fast we didn't know who got hurt. Suddenly, Jasper's white shirt started turning red and blood spewed from his mouth. He looked at us to save him, but there was nothing we could do. He was dead before he hit the ground. Ronnie and I just looked at each other, then took off running. Again, with it being dark, Ronnie and I didn't know, but we split up and ran in different directions. After I realized this, I started looking for Ronnie. Finally, reaching the center of town, a small windmill that nobody told us was going to be there suddenly appeared. At the very top of the windmill, Ronnie was hanging by his neck. Eyes popped out of his skull and face red from strangulation. His neck bruised and bleeding because of the rope. At the bottom of the windmill looked like the entire town of people. When I approached, they all turned and looked at me. They looked angry. Not liking what I was seeing, I backed up and started to run. As I did so, it was like half the town had super speed because they were on the other side of me. I was surrounded and it wasn't looking good. The people formed a circle and enclosed me. They pulled out their own knives, then took turns stabbing me. Blood was going everywhere, and I felt every blade go in and out before I couldn't feel anything anymore. I was dead in the middle of town in a dirt road and a pool of blood. 2 weeks went by before people started asking questions and started looking for us. Finally, they got lead that we went to Hellsville. A party of 60 people traveled to go look for us. When the party got to the town, I was first one found, then Ronnie, Jasper, and was the third and second found. Even though we left Dio at the hotel, nobody found his body. The owner had Dio's shoes on, so they were convinced he killed Dio. When they couldn't put him away, they were left with nobody. A few days later, our bodies went missing from the morgue, and the hotel owner was killed. The investigation is still ongoing, but it's been said nobody is allowed to go and stay the night there. But you know, kids, they do anyway. Anyone stupid enough who did spend the night in the Hellsville town was found dead the next day. We started something stupid and strong and evil, and it's not going to stop. And that is the end of our story. As you can see, I have started a new one. So I will have a new one soon for you guys. Like I said, there will be a picture of my merchandise at the end. I have men's shirts, women's shirts, coffee cups. I have hoodies. I have more designs to come. And there will be a special picture at the end. I'm not going to reveal that one. So, as always, like, subscribe, and share. This is Stubbo, and this is Extended Horror Stories. Deuces.